to permit conditional enrollment in a traditional school program.
I move.
I'll second.
Motion by Hepburn, seconded by Brendan.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Student petition for reinstatement 69-24-25 to permit conditional enrollment in a traditional school program.
I'll move.
Second.
Hepburn and Vincent. All in favor?
Aye.
Five ayes. Student petition for reinstatement 65-24-25 to permit a conditional enrollment in a traditional school program.
I move.
Second.
Motion by Hepburn, seconded by Vincent. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. A recording of this meeting is being made and shall be kept for 30 days as public record. Please stand for the pledge. Robert, lead us, please.
Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. I am here. Robert Vincent is here. Sunny Hepburn is here. Adrian Rendon is here. Justin Wright is here. And Alyssa Finch is absent.
Move to approve the agenda.
I have a correction.
Yes?
On page 7, Abdelia Barrios, it should say step 12, and that is $27.77.
Step 12, it says 12, step 9.
77.
2777.
Which one? What was the name again?
Adios.
The fifth one down.
She said fifth one down.
Which,
Oh,
was it
okay.
supposed to say step what?
Step
It doesn't
12
say step 12.
at 2777.
Motion to approve the agenda with corrections.
I'll move.
Motion by Vincent.
Second.
Seconded by Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Board of Trustees organizational meeting. For board president, I'll nominate Bob to take my place.
Second.
Motion by Gutierrez, seconded by Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
And then do you have to vote again?
I'm just doing it all in one shot.
No,
Okay.
so,
Okay.
On the floor for nominations for vice president.
From the floor for vice president,
I'll nominate Sunny.
Second.
Hepburn, and, oh wait, that was Vincent nominating Sunny.
Yeah.
And Wright seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Clerk of the board,
I'll nominate Justin.
Justin, you okay with that? Then I will second it. Hang on a second, I'm writing.
That's okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
County representative. Is this the one that goes to Bakersfield for the,
Yes.
who's got the time?
When do we do that?
It's like once a year,
Once a year, I think it's in October or November.
October of every year.
Yeah,
Who's our current?
Bob,
I am now, but I like to,
Bob's the current one.
Bob, would you like to step away?
yeah, on this one. Because that was,
You want to do it, Rick?
I'll nominate Adrian.
Adrian?
Second.
Okay, that was Hepburn nomination. And Wright. So, Hepburn. Seconded by Wright. All in favor?
uh,
Aye. Alternative representative
For the county.
for Bakersfield.
Am I the alternate now? Who's the alternate?
The alternate was Mario.
I could do it again if nobody else wants to.
I nominate Mario.
Second.
Okay, that was Hepburn. Motion seconded by
Right.
Wright. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
and I'll be glad to do the AV Board Association again.
I nominate Bob.
I'll second.
Seconded by Hepburn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. At this time, I relinquish my seat to Mr. Metzelet.
So we need to change.
Okay.
Just change the time.
No.
Huh?
No,
Tell him Mario.
can't be like that.
I hear what,
Take your suit off.
hopefully, yeah, it's,
You can say.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
Sitting
your
at the
fault.
after all those years.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're going.
Here, Bob, you want your bag? I'll leave it for you.
Oh, you know what, Mario?
What's that?
You left her.
All right. Next up would be the 2026, should we go with the people, the committees that out of the way? Move it up.
I would
Are they
finish
ready? Are
this.
they ready?
No,
Okay.
finish this.
All right, we'll finish this. Okay, subcommittee volunteers assignments, budget.
Right now, it's me and Bob.
I'm,
I stay, if that's
you want
okay.
to stay? I'm gonna go with you.
Sure.
For policies,
I'll stay on the policies committee if that's okay.
and I'll go with you.
Curriculum. Currently, it's me and Adrian.
Mr. President, if I could just, if you indulge me one moment, we will be doing some adoptions, piloting of math this year. So love whoever selects to be on the curriculum committee, would love to have people that will come out and perhaps observe when the publishers come out once or twice and actually have an opinion on the curriculum. That would be great. Whoever it is.
So do you want to stay on or do you know?
I will stay on.
I understand. I'm going to beg off this one on curriculum.
I could step up for curriculum.
Okay. Athletics, I will stay on unless, and who's the second, who's gonna stay, go with me?
I'll stay on unless.
You wanna stay on?
somebody
Okay, so we'll keep that as it is. Project in planning,
I'm in.
okay, no problems there. I'm just gonna
We
say,
got so much going on.
yeah, I think that's, that is a good,
No?
I think that's a good move. Discipline and review, we have Hepburn and Rendon.
We can see, I don't feel like we've done a lot with that.
Yeah, because you actually did create a document, so.
Okay, all right, sure, why not?
Okay,
Sign me up.
Adrian,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yep.
Okay.
Calendar. I don't have a problem of remaining on calendar,
I'll stay.
okay. As far as, information technology, Justin,
Yeah,
anybody else?
unless you,
I
unless
will,
somebody wants.
I will move to stay as well. And safety and security, I would like to be on safety security,
I'd like to remain on safety and security.
then it'll be, right?
I can fill it up.
Okay,
So it's staying the same for information technology, right?
okay. Reports and communications, RTA. You're up, Ed.
We don't really have much to report. We're going on break in 2 days. Christmas parties and holiday parties, and everything are underway. And we just wish everybody a good break, get some rest, get ready for that second semester, and make sure they get one. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Mr. President, Mr. Shevlin, would you show off your ugly sweater, which I didn't think was that ugly?
No, it's not ugly.
Stand up, show it off.
Well,
Stand up. And also have a pocket.
I don't know.
Another pocket so you can put your, your.
Oh,
Treats,
that's cute.
treats.
That's cute.
Yes.
You can pull out presents, it looks like you can pull out presents.
Ed, just don't come to my house.
Unless you buy one for you.
Yeah, hey, Ed, don't come to my house wearing it, because I'll wind up with one.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, and I have to say, because we came over, Ms. Gaines, we talked today, negotiations are scheduled for February, so.
Or you could wind up with the one I have. It's the Grinch that says naughty on it. Okay, CSEA.
Likewise, not much to report. We have our final chapter meeting of the year tomorrow, and enjoy your 3 weeks off. Have fun, be safe.
Your 3 weeks off.
Well, I get a couple of days work, yeah, so I work off. I get a little time, so I'll take it.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's all I got.
All you got? Okay. CBA report, Mr. Irvin.
I'll feel like a word of the predecessors here, happy holidays. First in terms of the next budget. It'll be the first glance at where we are so far this year and what the future looks like. Follow up with second in terms of March.
Okay, thank you, sir. Assistant Superintendent, Instruction and Curriculum, Dr. Mendez.
Good evening, everyone that joins us here and also online. Happy holidays to everyone. And I just want to report out that we had Dr. Fisher here visiting secondary schools on Monday. He was here on the 15th, and we visited secondary school, education, Roseman High, and Tropical Middle School. So we had a chance to visit classrooms and look at the different student engagement activities and so forth is what we visited. We also met with the elementary school math adoption committee yesterday, and more for connecting and discussing publishers as well as planning for piloting and so forth for the next semester. Okay. And we also met last week on the 11th with the standards-based grading committee with Ken O'Connor. He's joined us as well, and in the committee, myself and the rest of the committee with Ken O'Connor. Also like to thank the team in Ed Services, Hannah, Hilda, Yesenia, Dr. Toller for their work in educational services, helping out with the families, parents, and students and staff. So appreciate their support. And that is what I have for my report.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Assistant Superintendent, Special Education Pupil Personnel, Ms. Taylor.
Hello, everyone. We're just working on finishing up everything for first semester, submitting all of our state and county reports and getting prepared for the start of second semester so we come back and hit the ground running. Other than that, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. Be safe and have a good time. That's it for me.
Thank you. Social Superintendent, Human Resources, Mrs. Hargis.
Good evening, everyone. We have been really busy, but we are looking forward to having some time off, and hopefully everybody else will as well. So I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you all back in January.
Thank you. Superintendent's report, Mrs. Gaines.
Well, good evening, everyone, and also welcome to those who may be joining us from home. 2 more days, we can make it. I just know we can. Every day that we get through without, any little hiccup, it's just a great day for me. So I'm excited about that. I want to remind everybody, I mentioned it at our last board meeting, that the inaugural Athletic Hall of Fame for Southern Kern Unified School District will be hosted at our beautiful new cafeteria at Roseman High on Saturday, June 24th. We're already, Robert's selling all the tickets. He's the money guy. And I understand we've sold quite a few tickets already. So we're selling them. We have to sell them cash only. But if you want to come out and see, celebrate with the first 5 inaugural members to this Hall of Fame, please join us on January 24th. I think it's going to be a wonderful evening. Our keynote for that night is Mr. Newton Gillette, who is well known in the Antelope Valley for athletics. So I'm sure he'll have many stories to tell about some of our people being inaugurated that night. I also want to just say to our families and all of our staff in Southern Kern, I wish you all a wonderful holiday, a well-deserved holiday, I know. Be safe and enjoy lots of family time and just get some rest. You don't have to go far, but just get some rest and enjoy your time off. And we'll be back bright and early Monday, January 12th. So we'll see you then.
Thank you. Board member communications. Mario, we'll start with you tonight.
Well, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. Want to wish everybody happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's been a pleasure serving as your president for the last year. But I'm ready to relinquish that to get a little bit of rest. Thank you for allowing me that pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Adrian, you're up.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Like Mrs. Gaines said, we have 2 days to go, so let's keep plugging away. Students that are taking your finals, please continue to give it your all. Doesn't matter. Don't check out yet. Everyone just enjoy your holiday and please be safe.
Thank you. Justin.
Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas this year, New Year, online. Happy holidays for those that don't. Other than that, I really don't have anything. I'll be at work just like you are, even on Christmas. So that's all I got. Enjoy your time.
Thank you. Sunny.
Thank you guys for being here. I feel like I've done a we should move you guys a little closer. Everyone online, like they said, 2 days, 2 short days, or minimum days too, right? So just keep plugging along. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. Enjoy whatever time you get with your friends and your family, and just be thankful. And I thank you guys too. It's been a good year. Looking forward to next year. And off to you, Bob.
After me, okay, thank you. Well, I want to start off with, first of all, I want to thank Mario. Mario, I would say, is probably the dean of this board for the amount of years, his wisdom, his expertise in moving this district forward. And Mario, thank you. You're going to be a tough act to follow for me, but I got you sitting down there that you can make sure I'm on the straight and narrow. Congratulations, Justin and Sonny. Yeah, tough job for you. Congratulations on moving up to this, so forth. Everybody enjoy your holidays coming up. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming in. And I'm going to go ahead and move to subcommittee updates.
I have nothing.
Really nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
We're just cruising along on West Park, trying to get all the buildings all put together. They're all in place, which is kind of neat. I took off on vacation for 2 weeks. I left, I came back 10 days later, and 3 of the wings were done. Went up to the CSBA conference, came back, and the other was in place. And it's like, yes, they are on the ball, getting it done. So now the real hard work, because they got to get all the little nicks and crannies put together, all the finish work, all the landscaping and the asphalting, and so.
The shade structure was in progress today, so that was
Oh,
all.
they're getting
that's
that
awesome.
put up?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I watched them take one of the things, I timed them because I was there, and they had an assembly line going, and from taking off, like hooking up one of the parts and putting it down, it was 6 minutes. That was it.
Wow.
So it was really cool to see.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I think, Mr. President, that Mr. Gutierrez, that we could also add to that, once school is out on Friday, starting, I don't know if it'll start the weekend or Monday, we should start to see some significant movement at the locker room, the new locker room at Roseman High, the boys and girls locker room. So I know they were waiting for students to be off campus to really be able to go in there and make some moves. So that should start very, very soon.
Thank you. Comments from the public?
Yes.
There's one, but there's 2 different subjects.
One person, 2 different subjects.
Thomas New?
Yes, sir. I'm Thomas New.
Okay, and, okay, you're talking about wrestling program, sports and FFA Ag? Your
Make sure
You have to read the disclaimer, please.
disclaimer, yep. Members of the public may address the board on any item within the jurisdiction of the board by submitting presentation requests to the secretary or an email. Members of the public are strongly urged not to mention personnel by name and are reminded that they do not have immunity from legal action if personnel is named. The board may limit each speaker to 3 minutes or a total of 20 minutes per topic. And we have 2 topics.
Yes, sir.
You're up, sir.
I'm Thomas New. I'm the new wrestling head coach. I know we haven't had wrestling in a solid 5 years or so, so I finally volunteered and am coaching the wrestling team. We had our first at-home meet this evening, the first one here at home in quite some time. I'm asking about what we can do to better fund the wrestling team. We're dealing with some very old equipment. To the point today was a little rough to even host desert. Our mats are almost 10 years old. which in that sport is not necessarily unheard of, but it's not great. Another thing, I struggled to try and get somewhere for us to even practice to get this. And currently, my boys have to go all the way to the elementary school in their cafeteria and hoist 500-pound mats up and down the stage each and every practice. It's by far not the safest thing for a couple boys to hoist a 500-pound mat up and down stairs to have that done. I know there are some funds that are looking at, I hear a locker room and such, and I would like to know if there's any plans of getting these students some better sports facilities. For a wrestling room, a 50 by 50 room would be great. If not, just a piece of the gym, something, but I just don't think safety is in the best interest of the hoisters. And plus going across the freeway for some of them that don't have, I mean, I know it's the first year, but as a coach, obviously I'm going to be partial to wrestling. I feel we kind of owe it. There's not much to do here in Roseland, as we all know. And I think sports should be something we should lean very heavily on: teamwork, self-discipline, self-awareness, emotional control. And that's what the sport of wrestling offers. So I would like to see what we can do about getting, whether it be wrestling or any other sport, some better facilities right there where they can, we can practice and host tournaments and all that other stuff. That's for wrestling. I don't know. Those of you know we have a wrestling program. I'm seeing some kind of weird eyes that maybe some of you don't even know this. But we do have a wrestling program. In fact, one of my wrestlers just here, Isaiah, which his family pushed me to be a coach and bring it back. So we all owe it to his family to really push that, get that here. That's on the wrestling front. So this is my first board meeting. So I don't know if I get feedback immediately from you, or I just speak and nothing, or how that works.
Well, we can't make comments. We can't tell you, yeah, we're gonna give you what you need.
No, I understand.
But yes, we will take it into advisement. If there is availability, we will see what we can do. Again, there's a process we have to follow through, so
You're
at least
just
that way
bringing
you
it
know
to our
what,
attention.
we heard you.
Okay.
And we understand that, I know that the program is brand new again this year.
Yes.
And I didn't know what kind of shape our equipment and stuff was, because my daughter actually wrestled on the last team that was there.
Wow. Which one?
Andy.
Oh.
I thought they had them back
Quick
in
training.
2020.
Yeah, but she
I'll tell you
wrestled
about
in 14, 15.
Prior to COVID.
Forget what.
Right, about 2019.
Can I respond to it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Coach, I just want to ask you, have you reached out to Mr. Johnson, the athletic director, to say, hey, look at our mats? We really could use it.
He's very aware. We spoke again tonight about it.
Okay. Did he give you any direction
As in, I've
as
spoken
to
my
what to
point.
do about your goal to get new mats?
Well, I've spoken to him, and I told him I would come here and bring it up with him, but I don't know what his job title, what his responsibilities, and I won't speak on what his responsibilities are, but I have brought it up to him, and I don't know if you're referring to using my chain of command, if that's what you're referring to.
No, I'm just saying he's the athletic director. That would be a great place for you to start, and then he'll usually bring it to Robert or myself. Here's the cost of the mats, that sort of
I
thing.
did that on like day 2, because at first we weren't getting anywhere to even practice, and I had to basically say, if you don't give me somewhere to practice for these boys, I'm just not going to be the coach. We owe it to these boys and girls, if we have some on the team, to give them safe and sanitary facilities to practice.
Interesting.
So I have done so, yes, on many occasions.
My advice to you would be, and I have no clue what the cost of mats are, or what kind of mats I wouldn't know one
Oh, sure.
mat, a great mat from, not a great mat, but my suggestion to you would be to sort of search for the type of mats that you would like for the wrestling program, and then maybe share that with Mr. Johnson, the athletic director, and then maybe bring it to Robert, and we can put it on the agenda if we think it's something we can afford.
That and that's somewhat of a safe facility too. I don't know, that's obviously just facility sharing. I think the feedback I've gotten is nobody wants to interrupt basketball and football. That seem to have to be the priorities and everyone else comes second to that. That's the feeling I've gotten.
So you would prefer to be in the gym? at the
I
high school?
prefer to be on this side of the freeway.
Well, we have one, unfortunately, we have one gym at Roseman High, and there we have a lot of sports, but I think it sounds like there just needs to be some conversation that takes place about what day or what time is not being used, this sort of thing. I will have a conversation tomorrow with the athletic director to see, I know it's very, very, the gym is very impacted. I know that for a fact, but let me see what I can do.
Thank you for bringing it.
Yes.
And sir, if I'm correct, you also had to go and search out gear, correct? Like from other schools to start the season?
We did. We called in some favors only because we didn't know if shipping was gonna be here. I went to Highland and they lent me some gear, but it literally arrived the day I went to Highland and got some of that stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I don't mind doing some of the stuff. Like we use my truck and trailer just to get the mats from over there to over here, and then tomorrow after school we have to use it to go over there. So, I have no problem volunteering because I obviously don't do this for the money. It's definitely for the kids and the love of the sport. But some assistance would be great.
So,
And
Ms.
acknowledge it.
Fergus, I have a question. If we hire a coach for a sport, should we not have everything available to them? Like, so we don't run into this type of situation?
Well, and that's really what the athletic director does, is make sure that, they have everything they need.
And to Mr. Johnson's defense, it's not one of those we can put wrestling gear in a box for 5 years and expect it to be in good shape after. So he was very aware that we needed to order new stuff, and it took looking in the rules to make sure that the gear we were going to order is still up to rules and CIF rules, because they change rules and headgear is correct, and there's the only way that you can get singlets and the way they can be colored and all that other stuff. So the singlets and the headgear was the easy part, and workout bags and that stuff's, it's the facility is a huge part in the mats.
So should we hold off on practices until we have?
Well, then that would cancel the year, so no.
Yeah, that.
No.
You gotta keep going.
We already
You said
started.
they had their first match tonight.
It was
right?
like a duel. It wasn't our official to keep score for the boys. The 7th will be our first, and it's here,
January 7th.
January 7th. I encourage everyone to please come out and support the boys. The 7th will be our first one against Kern Valley, but from what we're getting, it's going to be like a try meet. So there'll be other schools here in our gym as well.
We still have the second,
had,
you have the FFA
Yes.
and ag.
My daughter and my son both participate in those programs over here. And I had heard that there was something being built as new facilities and such for that. And I wanted to see if I could get somebody to tell me an update to that. Because I had heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we were doing like a cow or a steer barn or some other just for them or something.
No.
Okay.
The facilities that we're building are in the planning stages right now. Hopefully they'll be going into DSA approval, because we have to have a state architect approval. Once that is done, then we can start actually working on stuff after we get the contractor on board and all that. The barn that is being built is not just for
Steers.
steers. It's steers, lambs, and small livestock. The pig barn is actually in fairly good shape. There needs to be some improvements done to it, and those are in the plans along with the other stuff.
So there's more children or students, showing pigs, and there's more pigs there than any other animal.
Right.
So I'm wondering why I guess that's a basis of opinion. I personally think those pig barns are atrocious and a danger. There's always metal sticking out. They don't drain
Well,
properly.
they need to be updated.
Far poor shape.
The design isn't really that bad. I mean, unless you're doing a big industrial type, I mean, it'd be nice to have like what the fair has, but that is not. That is not ideal for animals to be raised.
Say that again.
So that is not ideal for animals to be
Well,
raised.
now that the fair has swapped and now we're raising animals in the middle of the winter,
It's horrible.
it's not great with wind and.
Yeah, I have been arguing with the board at the fair over that.
And in the standing water, it becomes a health. There's granted with livestock, I grew up in Texas. I grew up on farm. I know that. But having standing water and algae and flies,
There should not be any of that at the barns.
where we have to talk.
Okay,
I've got some pictures. I have some safety concerns in that place and some.
yeah, bring those to me and,
I would love to.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, consent items A through L. Do we have any questions?
Don't worry now.
As soon as we got the camera on, everybody runs off.
Yeah, he's got to have good grades to do his homework to be a wrestler. So.
I don't have any questions. I move to accept.
Move to accept, moved by Hepburn.
Wait, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question about, I. Can I find out some more information about that? It gives us,
Gives us funding
for all of the things on page 63, 60.
In fact, I was gonna ask, some of that. Go ahead, I'll let you ask the questions.
So can I find out a little more about this? Is this like, oh my gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? Like assemblies, things like that. Is that what this is? Informational,
For the tube,
Or just that?
oh yeah, for tube, they have different, it's funding for the school sites to use, to help promote like, to help promote information in regards to like, tobacco use awareness and so forth. For example, when they have Red Ribbon Week, which is supplies to get Red Ribbon, for the students, different activities that they have throughout the year for awareness.
Okay, so are we doing a class on it? Are we doing an assembly? What is the example?
Schools can utilize that for different, awareness or projects or assemblies for the students, but, they get, funds for them to do activities and or purchase materials or supplies, for that purpose.
Right, we're gonna get the funds, but are we planning on doing assembly? Are we planning on doing, what are we planning on doing? What's the plan?
It would be
page
the,
62, there's a,
Well, would that be the job? Are we gonna hire a tube project coordinator or do we have one?
usually the school sites, the admin that help, work on what that looks like for their individual school site. And they have a list of like activities that they can incorporate. And then, admin goes to the meetings at Kern County, in Bakersfield, KCSWest.
So someone has to sign up.
Twice a year, they go to the KCSWest to get information. And after it's there, then they bring back the information to school sites. I've gone to those trainings also in Bakersfield.
every school does the Red Ribbon Week. And it seems like a lot of fun, I guess, to go and do time ribbons and stuff and things like that. But we need to, I think, go a little more in depth with things because I think that this is an issue. So that's why, I think for me. Yeah.
So again, someone from each site will be in this position to go to Bakersfield, get this information and then bring it back to the site and then decide what they're gonna do for their particular site or the district or?
Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
I mean, it's a reimbursement that several, show county for the X, Y, or Z, and then each school site is entitled for $500 for reimbursement.
Yeah, and it says not here on high school.
Yeah, from sixth grade.
From 6th and up.
Yeah.
So just at the middle school.
It's a secondary focus, but we do share resources and information with the elementary schools. We know they do recommend other activities at the elementary as well. But it is focused on six and up, primarily
Brief
secondary.
intervention, 6 to 12, but not on high school. Oh, that's what it's called, not on high school. Because I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was my only
Thank you for the clarification. All right, cool.
Okay.
And then any, Simon, you'd like to share some of the activities you've done? Is that okay, Ms. Gaines, or board?
I think
Do you want to share maybe some activities that you've done with
We implemented TUBE in ATS so that the ATS teachers have resources to demonstrate to kids why it's not healthy. So like curriculum based is how CHOP has been using.
I know Mr. Adams and I attended some meetings on Tuesday at Bakersfield, KCSS in the past. You want to share out maybe just some of the topics they've covered there?
I mean, at our side, we partner with the Coach Squad, so we can do campus-wide activities and bring awareness to it.
Okay, thank you.
I still move to approve.
Okay, we have moved, second by right. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. General, presentation regarding proposed trustee areas attached. That's page 81. Presentation by demographer of proposed maps. You said there was a different name?
Yes, this evening, we do not have Attorney Packard with us. We have Attorney Funderburk filling in for Attorney Packard this evening. Welcome back. Thank you for being here with us this evening. So, do you want to introduce for us, I don't know who's gonna start, Dr. Levitt this evening, or if Marguerite is going to start us off, so we can get further into the discussion about the maps.
She's not there.
She's muted.
We can't hear her.
Yeah, no, we're not hearing.
Like, it looks like the audio on the screen.
No, mine.
Hi. We can't hear you.
1 second, we can't hear you guys.
Bottom right, it looks like it's Xed out on your speaker.
Yeah, but maybe, so there's no.
Just to the left of the little keyboard. So,
That's my
there you go.
Excuse me.
Okay, can you hear us okay? Can you say something?
Hello?
Yeah,
There you
Hello?
go, all right.
Yeah, it's first screen.
Yeah.
You guys are good.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Attorney Funderburk, do you want to, thank you for filling in for Mr. Packard this evening. Do you want, I don't know, is Mrs. Leone with us? I see Dr. Levitt. Dr. Levitt, do you just want to begin then, or? I'm not sure. If
Sure.
you're with us.
And if you want me to share my presentation, can you turn on sharing? Like I can share it.
Thank you.
I'll see if I can get in touch with Miss Leone, but I think she should be logging on soon.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
There
you.
we go.
her.
That's the. So, good evening. It's a pleasure to be back here again. My name is Dr. Justin Levitt with National Demographics, and this is our fourth presentation on the transition to by trustee area elections. I just want to apologize in advance for my voice. I'm recovering from a cold I got last week after our meeting, and it's still affecting my voice a little bit. But just to kind of give you a sense of where we are in the process, tonight is our fourth public hearing, the second of two meetings to discuss and revise the maps and discuss the election sequence. If Ms. Leone is here, she'll be discussing the election sequence in more detail after our first part of our presentation. As a reminder, the final action will be on January 14th at the next board meeting. And that will be this final selection of the map and sequence of elections.
Justin, I think they might be changing that to the 20th, the 90th.
Okay.
Is that right?
Dr. Levitt, I think this is something I was gonna discuss with the board this evening, if they want to keep January 14th or move it to January 20th. Because I know I'm gonna have some of my board members out on vacation, so I wanna have the largest number here on whichever night that would be. Is it the 14th team or the 20th?
So I think it was going to be Justin was gone.
I'm here on the 14th.
Yeah, and I'm the one that's not.
So we want to keep the 14th, is that the understanding?
Are you gonna be here on the 20th, Justin?
I'll be here on the 20th, but I thought that was our final day, and then they
Right.
were going to
And
have
you'll
to
be
try
here
to
on
get
the
an
20th?
I will be
extension.
here with the 20th.
The
The
deadline's
deadline
the
is the
20th.
So
20th.
everyone will be
Problem.
here on the 20th, Bob won't be here on the 14th.
Right,
But
But
are we
but
able
the
to?
deadline is the 20th. Is, Dr. Levitt, is the deadline still the 20th?
So that was my understanding, but Ms. Leone's here and she'll be able to answer all these questions with more certainty than I can.
The deadline is the 20th, but you can pass your resolution on the 20th.
And honestly, like I was about to mention, it's not the last action. It is the last action the board has to take. But after that meeting, the plan does have to go to the County Committee on School District Organization to review and approve the map that the board adopts. Now, that's pretty much, just something that every district has to do. It's pretty routine. However, that always takes place after that 90-day or 120-day window. So one of the things is that doesn't count against you toward your time. Certainly, I think the spirit of the law is that as long as we are making progress and we have that date set, then we are within the bounds of the law.
Would you guys rather change it to the 20th?
I'd rather have everybody here,
Okay.
The
if it's possible.
Yes. So it sounds like, Dr. Levitt and Marguerite, that January 20th works better for the board because we would have 5 board members present. Of course, anything could happen, illness or whatever, but versus the 14th where we know we're only going to have 4. So if we could, let's move it to the 20th.
Yes, I communicated with the counsel for the person who sent us the letter, and he agrees that the date of January 20th is timely and within the same safe harbor.
Great.
Dr. Levitt, please proceed.
Sure. So as we mentioned last time, the criteria we use for drawing the maps also are now our criteria for evaluating the maps. All of the maps do meet the basic federal requirements in the left-hand column. They have their population deviations, the difference between the largest and smallest trustee areas, under a 10% maximum total deviation. In addition, they comply with the Federal Voting Rights Act of 1965. Each map has a majority Latino trustee area, as well as one with a significant African American population. These are areas 4 and 5, respectively, on each map. Race and ethnicity was not the primary consideration in drawing them. They kind of are the northwest and northeast the northeast and southeast quadrants of the city of Rosamond, east of the freeway. Now, where we get to our disagreements or differences on the map is really in our Fair Maps Act criteria in this middle column. All of our maps are geographically continuous. That is, they have one outside border for each trustee area. We don't have little bits and pieces of each trustee area that are not physically connected. They differ, however, in looking at how they divide neighborhoods and communities of interest. And many of the maps have some very big differences from each other in terms of which neighborhoods or communities are kept together in each map. This is a reflection of the trade-offs that we have to look at in the districting or trustee area drawing process. The law says that we should avoid division of neighborhoods or communities of interest. And so that's really our discussion over the last hearing and this one as well on how well these maps do in following this criterion. Third, following our city and census designated place boundaries. All of our maps include 5 trustee areas with pieces of Rosamond because that's what's population dictates will be necessary. All of them do their best to follow easily identifiable boundaries. However, as we mentioned with some of the maps, particularly when we showed you the yellow map, we heard some feedback on 65th Street versus other streets that might be more logical to follow. And so we reflected that in our yellow 2 map. And we'll talk about that more as we look at the different maps. Finally, compactness, not bypassing one group of people to get to a more distant group of people. Because of some of our census geography, we feel like we followed this in all the maps to the extent practicable. And of course, taking into consideration all of the other factors that we have to consider. I also do want to mention none of the lines that we're looking at have been drawn for the purpose of favoring or discriminating against an incumbent political candidate or a political party. Finally, we have considered other traditional districting principles and particular local considerations of school sites and making sure not to put all of the school sites into one trustee area if possible is something that we've looked at intensively as we've drawn the draft maps. As a reminder, in addition to the maps I'll show you here tonight, for more detail, for aerial photography to zoom in and out, we do have an interactive review map available online. And I can pull that up later if we need to see any detail. I'll start with our draft maps, the 3 draft maps that we saw last time. The green map in particular looked at using Rosamond Boulevard extensively as a boundary to create, using that in the 14 freeway to create more or less 3 areas that are kind of quadrants of the city. And then we have just trustee areas 3 and 1 that are kind of both in the southwestern portion of the city. In the orange map, on the other hand, we looked at not using Rosamond. We made sure that 4 of our 5 trustee areas in this map cross Rosamond Boulevard. In addition, we see some different options on the rural or the very sparsely populated areas of the district. The orange map puts most of those rural and unpopulated areas all into trustee area 1. The purple map, as we talked about last time, offers an option with an area 2 that really kind of follows alongside the freeway from the north to the south end of the district. This kind of really emphasizes more of the verticality of what's possible, including putting all of that rural area east of the district into trustee area 5. Based on the feedback and the comments that we got last time, I know we showed you, we didn't speak too much about the yellow map. I want to talk about that more tonight, as well as our yellow 2 map that was developed based on the board's feedback in the meeting last time. One of the things we really wanted to look at was a potential future campus south of Holiday Avenue. Could we get that into district or trustee area 5? And so the yellow and yellow 2 maps, you take area 5 across the freeway into the southwestern portion of the district. So in both the yellow and the yellow 2 maps, we have Tropico Middle School in area 1. We have West Park Elementary in area 2. We have Rosamond High in area 3 and Rosamond Elementary in area 4. And both of these maps, the area 5, which doesn't currently have a school site, would have a future school site, thus creating more balance in where the schools are located than some of the earlier maps. In order to do this, we have to take a third area, area 3, across the freeway in some small part. In this map, as you see, what we've done is been south of Rosamond Boulevard. Based on the testimony and feedback made in the meeting last time, we also put together the yellow 2 map. This one takes area 3 across north of Rosamond, that little area between Sierra Highway and the train tracks and the freeway. And this allows us to really unite that community around, Union Avenue, kind of in that northeast corner of the Rosamond community. as well as have 3 or 4 areas with a substantial amount of that unpopulated portion of the district. And as you can see here, Area 5 doesn't go so far out. In the yellow map, it went to 65th Street. In this map, we take it out to 50th Street. And then go up to Rosamond Boulevard, west of 40th. Now, there's not a lot of population in that area as of the 2020 census. We know that there has been some growth in that area since the 2020 census. But as a reminder, that we have to use the 2020 census data in our process. And it also gives these areas some natural places to look at for expanding or growing or shrinking in our 2031 redistricting process in the future. So the yellow 2 map, again, this is a map that came out of the board meeting last time. All 5 of these maps, we believe, meet the basic legal requirements. And they really just differ on how they put together the different communities of interest and neighborhoods throughout the city. One last thing I will talk about sequence of elections. Switching to trustee areas is not an instantaneous process. In fact, no board member has their term cut short by the transition to trustee areas. Over the course of the next 2 elections, all 5 trustee areas will have their first election. We have to keep the same number of trustee areas as currently would hold election in that each year. So in 2026, we have to put 3 trustee areas up for their first election. The remaining 2 trustee areas will have their first election in 2028. What this means is that in that interim, there'll be 2 board members that were elected at large in 2024 that continue to serve through 2028, even if they reside in a trustee area that holds its first election in 2026. And that is going to be something that we can look at, particularly in the assignment of trustee areas to years. Now, this is really a weird quirk of the election law code that requires us not to consider incumbents or where they live in terms of assigning these election years, but then the education code requires that we do. And so what we do is for this, to make this all make sense, is that our first stage of the process, we want to select a map before we know which areas will be assigned to which election year. We would make that decision blind to where the board members live and how that might affect election years. Once the board selects a map, then we can look at making that determination about which trustee areas will have their first election when. And that sounds a little complicated. I'll tell you it is, but it actually becomes a lot easier to think about election year timing once you actually have a map in front of you, rather than trying to speculate across 5 different maps. That being said, I'm happy to answer any questions about any of the maps or pull any of them up to show more detail. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
We get to open to the public. Do I have a motion? Okay, motion that we, that's Mario?
Yep. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's at 8:15. Yep. Any comments from the public?
So just a question, what is the, it's red, right? The pink line, what does that represent?
That's an area. That would be,
Not the whole map, that's all.
Yeah.
yeah, that's district area.
Which map are you
One.
looking at?
No, any of them, I'm just curious.
Red line.
I'm talking about the boundaries.
That's
Oh, yeah.
the boundary of the town. The red line's the boundary of the town.
The pink.
The red line is the census designated place boundary of Rosamond.
Yeah,
Rosemary goes out further, doesn't it?
you know, what would be helpful, Justin, if you could just do this for the board members right now, is show them the interactive map and how it works. If you can pull it up, because it's available to them. And so they can really zoom into questions about where boundaries are.
Switching, I'll just get that pulled up right now.
Yeah, if you look at the very front page, that is the entire district.
Right, that's why we were asking, because, well, I was asking.
Yeah.
But, why it stopped at 90, that's all.
Well,
If it's based on
Justin,
census-
am I correct that this tool is also available to the public?
Yes, this is available on the website for the community. We have some information when you first log in about how to use the map. And then as you see here, by default, I've turned on, one layer is turned on, but you can simply click the different layers to turn on and off the different map options. As you zoom in, you'll see more detail, all the way literally down to the census blocks. As you can, in the layers list, we have other demographic data you can see, including, for example, if you want to know where the Latino population is, or if you want to know something about what percentage of the population graduated from high school. The map also offers some options up in the upper right-hand corner to change our roadmap to something along the lines of, if you want to see terrain, you want to see imagery is actually probably a better one if you want to zoom in, and then, we can turn on a particular map like the yellow map. You can really zoom in to see, aerial photography in a lot of detail. Also highlight our search bar here. You can put in an address for a location and it will zoom to that location just as it would in Google Maps. So I think this one, this has a lot of information. I like the imagery with labels because as you zoom in, it starts showing you streets and other properties, but it keeps that imagery. But we have a lot of options here you can choose from. So we have all the plans loaded in here, as I mentioned earlier, so we can see any of them in more detail if the board would like.
Thank you, Justin.
Yellow
Can we
2
see yellow 2 again?
in more detail, please?
Sure, and I'll turn on streets so we can see some of the roads. So we'll start by zooming out. We have this is kind of the district as a whole. And then we can see here we have Rosamond Boulevard right to the center of the city, the 14 freeway, and 4 of our trustee areas kind of clustered right in the center of the Rosamond. And area 1 has this large unpopulated or sparsely populated area that runs west. Now I'll zoom in a bit to the city.
So can anybody run? I guess, I mean, maybe I'm getting hung up on this line here, but can anybody run if they're above Dawn Road here?
Yeah, so that's actually just like the census for Rosemont. And then if you look at the very bottom of like page 7 on that map, and very bottom, it'll actually say, have a little area that says Mojave in the very top of that rectangle at the very bottom, super bottom, right? That's
right.
Well, that's our district, but that's technically Mojave census.
Which one are you talking about?
On like 7, right here, where it says Mojave right there. That's actually like their census area for the location.
Oh yeah, that's this side of it.
Still this side. Yeah. So that's just the census area for, and then like anything west of.
The Bacchus Road, even though, yes.
So like my parents got the same Mojave, but.
Right.
Right.
So
It's still Rosemont District.
would they include in the road?
No, but
or Mojave?
on the map, it shows it as a Mojave census, even though it's Rosemont area.
Yeah, they're included in the Mojave census.
That's what that little that little corner right there, on the map.
That's what that, yeah. And then anything else like toward under 80th and stuff like that would almost be considered Willow Springs. Or is considered Willow Springs.
Yeah, because Willow Springs, even though it's its own little town, it's still under the Rosewood and Southern Prairie Two School Districts.
Dr. Levitt, can you sort of show me on this, is this yellow too here we're looking at?
Looks like.
Yes.
Yes. Can you show me where is Rosemont Boulevard? I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, Rosamond Boulevard is this slightly darker red line that runs kind of right through the center of the district where my mouse is right now.
Okay, thank you. And I'm assuming the black line at the bottom, is that Avenue A?
This is the county boundary, so yes, Avenue A.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, great.
I have no questions. Does anyone in the public have any questions? Anyone?
In that case, I will make a motion to continue our close our regular meeting.
Okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna close the hearing.
Second.
Second by Sonny. All in favor?
Aye. 8:22.
8:22.
Okay, board discussion, contact draft trustee area map. Do we have any further discussion from the board?
No, I actually like the yellow map 2. And I downloaded all the demographics in both of them, and they were within 3% of any section of any kind. So
I think it definitely goes more with the neighborhoods for sure.
And
Like Roseman Boulevard, it's a
it
good
does the
cutoff
neighborhood
for
more
it.
justice than the previous maps.
Yes, I agree.
With our last meeting, one of the comments from the board was as communities were being split a little bit. We're splitting off. And that's why we came back with what we felt would be better. So in other words, Ed, in our area, part of, we'll call our area United, over by United Street in Roseman was in 5. So we made sure it got pulled back in because we are a community out there.
So, Mr. President, would the board like to give some direction to Dr. Levitt on which map you prefer?
I really would like to see yellow map 2.
Same here.
I as well.
So, Dr. Levitt, of what meeting, what date are they going to actually vote on their selected map? The 20th, okay. So is there anything else you need from them this evening? It sounds like they're leaning towards yellow too.
At this point, that's good to hear. Marguerite and legal staff and I will work on making sure we get the resolution prepared appropriately for the 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Okay. Business operations, first interim report, Mr. Irvin.
Oh, let me switch over.
Alrighty, so, thank you guys for, staying awake so far. I don't know what to do anymore, so I'm gonna do it in the middle of the room. Sure. Alright, so first interim report. Just, okay, what is it? It's the period from July 1st to October 31st is where I'm looking at for, actual to date expenditures, everything else beyond that is projected out. And then, this is our first periodic look, the next one will be second interim, which will happen in March. Revenues have been revised since the adoption of the original budget. As we're all aware, budgets, are adopted in mid to late June, and then the state goes ahead and passes the state budget. And in the meantime, we start to see actual numbers. Property tax updates come in from the county office as part of the next year's education bill, new program. So in this year we have a new discretionary block grant that was added to the budget, as well as an increase in anticipated property tax revenues for the district. Revenues are made of unrestricted revenues and restricted. Unrestricted are, based off the LCFS calculator that's put together by Picnic, where it's a nifty little tool where we put in, what our property tax is going to be, our unduplicated student count, our anticipated attendance, and then restricted falls into the broad categories of our title program, CTAG for the career technical, ELLP, just, funds that come with more strings attached than the unrestricted. Right now we're estimating about 3,081 for ADA. This number is a bit low. This is the first year that districts have the opportunity to get attendance both through short-term independent study and then attendance recovery. So participation on, through an attendance recovery program where students can, attend on Saturdays outside of Saturday school and then build up, a bank of up to 10 days to count towards absences throughout the year, where prior years, if you're, you have your own excused absence, okay, you get a Saturday school to make that up and that's it without the ability to bank any of that. So it's a state giving districts opportunity to take advantage of extended learning to not only meet the mandates of extended learning, but also, push that towards attendance. Here's a breakdown of what the revenues are. Federal revenue is left flat for this. Coming into this budget year altogether, there were questions on federal revenue coming out of the federal shutdown and questions on what parts of the Department of Ed are going to exist and are parts of what are currently Department of Ed going to be rolled into other federal agencies. There's still a lot of unknowns there, so for the sake of not trying to be Nostradamus, I just left numbers flat. I can do that math easier. So yeah, there's breakdown of the uptick in revenues. Expenditures. I've revised what the expenditures were as well, because things continue to increase in costs for goods, services. We've increased the number of staff as programs have expanded. We've just some examples of where things have increased in cost. Summer schools are we've included ELLP and longer days, so we got more teachers, more class fed working during summer. We have more employees. We need supplies, obviously. We've increased, PD service providers and capital expenditures as we continue to, wrap up landscape project at the middle school, the modernization on the East Campus, with funds that are, outside of the bond and other facilities funding. Updated LCAP supplemental concentration dollars. So this is dollars that are specifically geared toward our unduplicated students. So that'd be, our free reduced EL low income students. We're at $13.1 million for supplemental concentration. Salary and benefits make up about 79% of budget expenditures. That's taking away the cost of the facilities project so that it's not completely lopsided in that regard. And then we have, proposals that have been sunshine with both RTA and CSEA, but, we don't sit down with CSEA until January and RTA in February at the earliest. So there will be updates to this as those negotiations progress, and we'll do our due diligence with getting board approval for a tentative agreement and AB 1200 requirements for our county office. Breakdown of what the expenditures are from the budget to the interim. So there's, growth across the entire board. I can just email you the PowerPoint, then you can take notes on it too. But this is where as we get through interim, and then this piece is a bit of the fuzzy piece. CPI for the last couple months has been out of wonk with, or off sync for updates and everything as government shutdown stopped and slowed down reporting. So this piece will be much more fine-tuned for second interim because of just, okay, where are we at expenditure-wise and what is that, growth through the rest of the year look like? Here's the multi-year projection assumptions. So we're looking at, all the revenue sources. The COLA this year is fully funded. A rough idea of what the ADA is. Again, that part will, change. P1 for attendance ends December 26th. So we don't even have all of the first portion of the year's attendance recorded yet, let alone P2, which is the major, is where a lot of the funding for the district comes out of. Period 2, which will end in the spring. So, and then there's multi-year projection includes step and column without having even started negotiations yet. It doesn't have any percentage included for salary increases. And then going into the fine details of, the reports themselves, contributions from unrestricted to restricted have increased, which is something I talked about at unaudited actuals and budget of, that increase in sped cost. So there's, additional contributions from unrestricted to restricted there. And then more, final year of landscape project, which started at the middle of last year, modernization and stuff like that. We're, putting the final, bits and pieces there within this fiscal year. And then the assumptions for 26, 27, 27, 28, more or less the same, with broader details utilizing School Services of California's dartboard, which keeps track of things like pension costs, expected COLA, expected increase in CPI, all of those. So I'm using those as the baselines because they're widely used standard throughout the state. And then there's contributions from unrestricted that rise slightly, but not as dramatically as they have in the next, in the last year or two. But they're still in there with a bit of a bump. So this is our reserve percentage with the net increase, decrease from year to year, where the dramatic one from 25, 26 from the prior year, as you have, heard me talk ad nauseum about before, is, we had a tremendous amount of carryover in our LCAP, that we, from early COVID, okay, we got federal dollars, we got LCAP dollars, we're gonna spend the federal dollars, they have a ticking clock on them, the LCAP dollars, not so much. But as part of, continuous progress and making sure that we're utilizing and tracking and spending correctly, we've whittled down the carryover from our LCAP over the last few years with, increased program services, part of the cafeteria project, like, there's, big chunks of it, so that's why you see, decrease in balance that, jumps from 4 million down to 1 million to 500,000 is, but yeah, so, that 30 million, 28 million, that's combined unrestricted, restricted funds. And then the percentage is just the reserve level of unrestricted funds. Minimum requirement for a district our size is 3%. This is the ending balance for our other funds outside of everything else is in general fund. So this is where everything else is anticipated to be Fund 21, depending on what, where we are in progress at the end of the year with West Park. Knocking on wood, hopefully basically done. But with the CTE project and other things, that one's a little bit hazy. Fund 35, again, expecting to be nearly done, if not entirely done with West Park. Coming up on June 30th. Our state facility funds will be a wash there because that's where the state funding for West Park project is. And then, adult ed, cafeteria, deferred maintenance, all of our other little funds that have, some have a little bit more money than others, but are largely just collecting interest at this point. A whopping 2% a year. Does anybody have any questions? Barbara has questions.
Yeah, it's just, I'm going back to, I can find it here, a little bit. I can see the pages aren't numbers, but the page is titled expenditures, salary and benefits. I've not seen our salary and benefits since I've been here hit 79% yet. And still, I know that we have, as I say this, I know that we're always still talking, whether it's CSEA or RTA, about positions that are currently still unfilled, but this number does bring a red flag to me.
All right.
Just saying. I don't expect an answer. I'm just letting you know, I don't like that number. Whatever good it's gonna be. Don't like that number.
It's pushing close to the max.
Pushing the limit.
I mean, it was at 90 something when I got here. So, I mean, I'm not nowhere there yet, but I don't even want to hit 80.
No, but all the classes and everything I've gone on, school financing, maximum ever you should be is 82.
Yeah.
And I mean total max. And that doesn't leave a lot for the children.
Yeah. Or utilities or the little things.
Yeah.
Little
Nice, huh? Yeah. Anybody else have any questions or anything?
No, thank you. Very thorough.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Second by Mario.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Justin.
Justin.
Okay.
And then Mario.
Okay. Thank you.
This operation continued, approve a memorandum of understanding and agreement by and between the California Schools Employees Association, CSEA, in its Roseman Chapter 587 in Southern Kern Unified School District concerning modifying Article 4, Health and Welfare Programs. Mrs. Gaines?
Yes, sir, I believe it's on page, in case you want to refer to it, 157. Basically, actually, this would have been better for Robert to explain. Robert and Paul, I believe, did some research and found some additional options for health and welfare benefits for our employees. Correct, Robert?
Yeah, so early August, Paul and I met with leadership from CSEA and RTA both to discuss our current healthcare plans and what we could do to mitigate, some of those excess costs. So in reaching out to CIS, they gave us we only have 3 plans that we're utilizing through CIS. We can utilize more than that. So after subsequent meetings, we discussed a few different Blue Cross plans as well as an additional Kaiser plan to make available to employees at a lower cost, where instead of a Kaiser one Kaiser only for the district that is a $10 out of pocket. Here's an option that's a little bit cheaper, but co-pays $30. So it can give people a little bit more options of whether or not what makes sense to them, financially or for their family. If they have a family or if they're single and they're like, if I have to take the insurance, great, but I'm never going to really use it. Everybody makes their own choices in that regard. So this is just an MOU to highlight those plans with CSEA as they are listed within the bargaining unit contract of, okay, these are the plans that the district offer. So, we did an open enrollment period later that just closed last week. To give people the option to change plans mid-year, which is a little bit different than we've done in the past, but gives the employees opportunity to stretch out their healthcare dollars if they need to.
I move to accept.
Moved by Sedgwick,
I'll second.
second by Brendan. All in favor?
Aye.
Approve resolution 25-26-06, impoundment of local tax revenues to anticipate pending claims and litigations. Mr. Urban?
All righty, this is an annual resolution where the county impounds a certain amount of funds for districts to go towards basically I can better phrase, an escrow account, so that if people are challenging or disputing their property tax, there's money set aside so that if there's going to be a payout, we haven't received the money and then get a notice of, hey, you need to give us money back so that we can, take your money to give back to this person. So for this year, the impound account is 1.2 million. There's $1.2 million short than what the current appealed taxes plus interest are. So this is a resolution to give the county auditor authorization in April and May to pull spring tax rolls and push money towards that liability account so that they don't, basically they'll take it now so that they don't have to come bother us later for it. And then depending on the nature of the appeal, how that gets decided, if there's money that, is owed to us that hasn't been paid, then that money will come out of that impound account back to us.
I move to accept.
Moved by Hepburn,
Second.
second by Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
E, approved resolution 25-26-07 regarding annual and 5-year accounting and development fees for 2024-25 fiscal year in the following fund account: Fund 25, Capital Facilities Funds, Government Code Section 66001D and 66006B. Mr. Irvin?
Alrighty, so this is again another annual resolution. The purpose of this resolution is to disclose, okay, we collected money from developer fees for new construction of either homes or commercial. what did we do with the money? The money for Fund 25 is for to go towards student housing. So that's, typically the district has used it for largely portable leases, but some minor construction stuff. If we expect growth on a campus and we have space that needs to be updated or modernized so that it can be used effectively as a classroom space. So let me go through attachment A to go through the nuts and bolts of it, or exhibit A, sorry about that. We started the year with 800, and all this is for last school year, because actually a good time to talk about last June is this December. We started last year with $880,000 in Fund 25. We ended the year with $1.4 million. We collected $795,000 in fees and accrued about $23,000 in interest. This year was fairly mild. Two large expenses. We spent $257,000 on portable leases throughout the district. So we have portables at West Park, at TMS, at the high school. And then we spent, because Roseland is unincorporated, Kern County does the administrative portion of developer fees for us. So their piece of the pie was 5% for service fees. The rest of the event, we don't have any ongoing projects with Fund 25 other than the lease of portables. So items F through H of attachment A are not applicable because there's no ongoing project to then report out on expected time or anything like that. And then exhibit B is the update for 5 years. We're off cycle for that. So there's in 2 years, there will be a report for what we did with the last 5 years, which will also just be the last 5 exhibit A's. But, yeah.
I move to accept.
Moved by Hebron,
Second.
by Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
F, Assembly Bill 1390 was passed by Governor Newsom on October 11, 2025. I'm going to turn this over to Mrs. Gaines.
Yes, sir. And I think it's important that we read this. In a school district in which the average daily attendance for the prior school year was 10,000 or less, but more than 1,000, each regular board member of the City Board of Education or the governing board of the school district who attends all meetings held may receive as compensation for the regular members' services a sum not to exceed $1,200 in any month. I want to remind the board that the board member stipend has not been increased substantially for 40 years. This is kind of a shocking thing that Governor Newsom did, but I think the timing couldn't be better. So in the past few years, the board stipend here is very, very low. We've increased it every February, like 5%, which would be sometimes equivalent to $7 or $8 for the year's increase, not much. So I am proposing that the Southern Kern Unified School District will increase the Board of Trustees stipend to $800 effective January 1st, 2026. I did not go to the maximum capacity. Board of Trustees will have 2 options. You will either get, as some of you do right now, the option 1, well, some of you get option 2, which is just the health benefits, and some of you get the monetary stipend. So I'm proposing that on January 1st, 2026, the monetary stipend be increased to $800. And as I talked about at the last board meeting, no one really knows better than myself how much work these people put in, how many nights a week they're here till 9:30, 10 o'clock. This is not our first night this week. And so, committee meetings sometimes Mondays till 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So anyway, Mr. President, I would like for you to call for a vote on this. Obviously, you have to approve this for yourselves, and I would like you to do an individual roll call on this.
Yes, ma'am, and we will start with the roll call.
Thank
You ready?
But don't you have to do the motion first?
Okay,
You usually do the motion first and then I do.
we want to do the motion first?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Second by Mario. Okay, roll
I'm
call?
gonna do the roll call, or do you wanna do it?
No, I'll let you do it.
Okay. Mario Gutierrez,
Yes.
Robert Vincelette,
Yes.
Sunny Hepburn,
Yes.
Adrian Renton,
Yes.
Justin Wright.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. And. Yeah. Okay, approve the following list of personnel items with correction.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
Did you get that, Bob?
I got it. Thank you. You guys, do we have all of there?